right, look, buying waterfront for a lot of people is like a brand new experience. There's just so many things that you just don't know before you start looking, and it can be really overwhelming unless you have an agent with you that makes it a lot easier and understands the process. So go ahead and watch this video, and I'm gonna give you my 5 tips and the 5 things I look for when I'm touring properties with potential buyers. All right, what's up everybody? My name is Rob Schou and I'm with EXP Realty here in Southern Maryland. I love to help buyers and sellers find their dream home in Southern Maryland, on the water, on the Chesapeake Bay, just enjoying the water. And if that sounds like something you're gonna be doing, make sure you reach out to me. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make that happen. You can also scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and it'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me. We can talk about your waterfront needs. And last but not least, scroll down, click the subscribe button, click the bell so you can get all this helpful information. It's not just about buying homes, but just about what it's like to live around the Chesapeake Bay, whether it's crabbing, fishing, looking for the right waterfront property, and also looking at the different cities around the Chesapeake Bay. Today I'm going to give you 5 tips about what you should look for when you're looking at a waterfront property. And make sure you stay to the end because this 5th tip is going to be one that really changes your mindset about how to look for waterfront property. All right, so the very first thing that you're going to do when you start looking for waterfront is you're going to want to narrow down your search. Now there's so many different types of waterfronts just on the western shore of Maryland that it really depends on how you want to use the water is the direction that's going to make you decide where to go with it. What comes to mind first for me is a lot of people look at the Calvert County area, especially around Lusby and up to Chesapeake Beach, and they say, oh man, look at these great views. You know, it's just wide open views to the eastern side of the Chesapeake Bay. But with that comes the restriction of you're probably not going to be able to put a pier there because a lot of those properties are on cliffs that make it almost impossible to have a pier out to your water. Now, if you're someone that doesn't really care about that and just wants the view, it can be a really good choice. But if you're someone that wants to put in your boat, you want to go out fishing, you want to go out skiing, you want to go out cruising for the day, you can't really do that as easily. So it's super important that you start narrowing down your search to what you are looking for. So that way you're not wasting your time looking at different properties and getting frustrated about the buying process when you're starting to look at those waterfront homes. All right, so once you've narrowed down your search, one of the biggest things I tell people to do, and I'm happy to take people to do this, is you gotta go see it by water. 100%. If you're buying this property because you want to be on the water, it's great to drive by it. It's great to see the different area. But the next thing you should be doing is either taking your own boat, asking your realtor to take you out on their boat, which I'd be happy to do, or hiring a charter boat captain to take you to those places by water so you can get a feel of what it's like to be on the water in those areas. And not just a feel for like what's around, but also how much water depth do you have off your property or off your potential property. That can be a game changer. If you're someone who wants a deep draft boat off your property, you're going to need to know that you have enough water to do that. So that is one of the biggest things is go visit it by water. Understand what it's going to be like for you to live there and to boat there, just so it makes it a lot easier to make your decision. The third thing that you're going to do is you got to be patient. So waterfront is a rare commodity in all of Maryland. There's only so many houses on the water. There are only so many houses for sale on the water. And that means that sometimes when you have it narrowed down and you have that search really specific on a specific area, houses aren't going to come up all the time. So it really is a waiting game. You can get lucky sometimes in the first few weeks of you starting to look for a waterfront home, you'll be able to find it. But for the most part, you're waiting for months and sometimes multiple months on end waiting for that perfect property for you. So don't get discouraged. Understand that waterfront is a rare commodity and you're going to have to wait for that right one, most likely. All right, so number 4 is we found that perfect property. You've waited and you're so excited because it's exactly what you want. But I can't stress enough, the biggest piece of waterfront is doing your due diligence to make sure everything that is there is exactly how you want it. Understand what the flood insurance is, understand what, different things are built in the critical area in the buffer zone and what you can and cannot build. Understand that, what the property lines are of the property, so you know where your lateral lines are going out into the water, and you know where you can put a future pier or a future boat lift. There's so many things that you're going to want to make sure you do your due diligence on, that you're going to want someone to help you with that. So make sure you're working with a realtor that has that knowledge, that has that understanding of the waterfront, so you don't miss something that can make it potentially kind of a lot harder to go forward with your waterfront than it would be if you had a knowledgeable person with you. All right, so my fifth tip, and this is super important because a lot of new waterfront home buyers don't know this, but after you've purchased your property, after you've done all this, make sure you understand what you can and cannot do within the critical area and the buffer in Maryland. These are really important regulations about how you can maintain your property, what you can put on your property, what kind of pier you can build, and just get to know them and get to know it on a county level so you don't run afoul of the different regulations. A lot of the times it's just a simple permit process, that you can fill out to have different things done to your property, but you have to do it because it can become a real big headache for you, even if you're just putting 5 or 6 boards extra on your pier towards the shore or something like that. It can become a permit process nightmare if you don't go about it right the first time. So make sure you read up on that, you ask for local help, you ask for opinions and quotes from different people to make sure you're doing it the right way and following those critical area and buffer zone regulations around that waterfront area. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful. Hopefully it gives you some more knowledge about what you're looking for when you're looking at waterfront properties in Maryland. If you're looking for waterfront, make sure you call me, text me, whatever, and I'd be happy to help you make this process a lot easier. I've done it a lot. I live on the waterfront, and I'm happy to help anyone else do the same thing. You can also scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and it'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your waterfront home buying needs. And last but not least, if you haven't yet, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell so you can be notified every time we put out more content about living on the water in the Chesapeake Bay region. Hope to see you on the next video.